Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, as you see what's going on a lovely island of Fawn. Hello, today, the super late night episode. I mean, this one didn't really have a justification. I mean, it was going to be a little bit later, but then I just made it way later. Honestly, I'm just playing a lot of the new Idolmaster game, to be honest. I figured it out now. I basically kind of understand the concepts. At least I understand how to play. I don't know how to play it well yet, though. That's kind of fun. Well, would I recommend you play it? Not unless you know no Japanese / like the Idolmaster franchise. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that in my monologue. Good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 11:55 PM on the Friday, May 17th, 2024. It's getting a bit warmer nowadays, at least in UK. Well, it's starting to feel like it. Or maybe it's just that it feels very hot right now in my room. I was going to check my clock and be like, because I used to have an alarm clock which would tell me the ambient temperature of a room, just see how warm it is. But I forgot that it's long since run out of battery. I've not had it for like 2 years, but you know, that muscle memory is still there. I still remember the tune I used as my alarm like ringtone from it, because it was I don't know, it was a clock I got from China. Well, actually I didn't even get it. It was like something that was gifted to me, and I'm sure it was just some like random cheap alarm clock or something, but I used it for like 8 years or something as my daily alarm clock. And I still remember the alarm. And probably if I'm asleep and I hear that, like the exact tune with that exact instrument playing it with sort of like digitally generated beeps, would probably just, I don't know if it would get my heart pumping, but it would wake me up like instantly. I think I would automatically try to reach over to like the right side of my bed, even if there's just a wall there, and try and slap an alarm clock off. That ingrained into my memory. But it's some like old Chinese folk song, I think. I don't really know much about it except for if you want to look it up, you can try and search a tune, but it goes like dun 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 whoa da 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 da. I think that's a different song now. I've just transitioned into. But that's how I remember it. My parents did tell me what it was called, but I generally can't remember it. It's not like it's probably some marching like military song or something from not olden Chinese times. That's perhaps a bit far back, than maybe like the 1960s or something. I don't know, but it's very ingrained into my memory as an alarm clock. Because now I think about it, I've only really ever had like 3 alarm ringtones. The first one was like my old phone one, which is just like the normal alarm sound, like something like that, which I didn't use for very long. And then it was that alarm clock for ages and ages, for like 8 years. And now it's my current one, which is, no joke, it's a song from Idolmaster, not the new franchise, obviously, but it's Radio Happy from Idolmaster, and I've used that for I don't even know how long. And it's weird because people say, you know, the ongoing thought is like, I'm going to use a song I like for my alarm clock, because then I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh yeah, this is a song I can jam to or something, you know, whatever it may be. Taylor Swift's new album, etc., etc. But then people say that you shouldn't use your favourite song as your alarm sound, because you will like learn to resent it. You will learn to associate it with like waking up in the morning, and you would like hate it eventually. Now, I sort of like flew in the face of that recommendation, I suppose, in first place. Well, actually, I don't even know if I've talked about alarm sounds before, so this is an interesting one. But I flew in the face of that, and I sat like at the time, which was probably like when I was like 15, 14 or something, one of my favourite songs at the time. It wasn't actually my favourite Idolmaster song or anything like that, but I felt like it was the most fitting one because it's called Radio Happy, and it's all about, you know, being there like through like gloomy mornings and gloomy evenings and sleepy mornings and something like that. It's basically just like an overwhelmingly cheerful poppy sound, and I was just like, all right, that seems like something fitting for like the morning. And honestly, no, I don't hate it. I don't resent it at all, to be perfectly honest. I still jam out to it every now and then. Do I listen to it much anymore? No, I don't listen to like any of the Idolmaster songs really anymore, but they're still like ingrained into my memory. You know, the same way like the My Little Pony songs are, and other random songs from my childhood, like the Ocean Commotion musical, which I must have spoke about at some point, but if not, I have to do an Animal Crossing video on that. But yeah, that's currently my like alarm sound. I don't even know if my alarm sounds are on at the moment. They theoretically should be, but let me just double check. Alarm volume. Settings? Or is it spatial audio? How do I find my phone ring one? Is constellation. What does this sound like? My 2 sounds, constellation. I think that's just the default. Turn on ring volume. I have not really heard that before because I don't really know what it sounds like. I mean, there's a lot of different like ringtones here, but we're not here to talk about ringtones. We're here to talk about alarm volumes. I like basically always have my phone on vibrate anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now playing, identify songs nearby. Media hide player. What? Pin media player to quickly resume. Show media on lock screen. To quickly resume playback, media player stays open in quick settings. Do I want that? Maybe. I don't know. What if I just turn it on? What's that look like? I guess I've got nothing playing at the moment, so that's fair enough. Default alarm sound? You crazy. That's not what I want my alarm sound to be. Actually, what is my alarm sound right now? Is it the sun? Hold on. I'm going to set an alarm for myself. For 1 minute past midnight. Oh no, it is that. Okay. How do I delete this? Okay, dismiss quickly before it goes off and I get copyright struck. So I guess the default is by whatever, but then I've changed the settings in here to not make it the default anymore. Why do I have alarms for 5 AM scheduled here? Not scheduled, disabled. You might be like, are you the type of person who has one alarm? And to be honest, I'm the type of person who only needs one alarm, but because I'm just like, oh, you know, well, in my mind, I'm like, okay, missing one alarm is pretty bad, you know. I don't want to miss it because I've had situations before where I've slept through an alarm. It hasn't happened very frequently. I'd say maybe like 1 in 200 sleeps or something I would sleep through an alarm. My body tends to be pretty good at waking up at the right time, so I always have these insurance alarms or whatever. Most of the time I wake up and I dismiss them, to be honest, but they're just in case. So I have, okay, if I pick like one day, Monday for example, I have 4 alarms. 4 alarms seems a bit excessive. I don't know why I have this many. And the weekend I've only got 2. One at 8 AM, one at 9 AM. I don't know, I guess it's because if I want to snooze, I don't want to snooze for like 10 minutes or something. If I'm snoozing, that basically means I'm pretty tired today. So like I want like an hour long snooze. So I guess this is probably why I've done it. So instead of doing snooze, I just dismiss it and then I like wake up at the next one. But anyway, yeah, I've had Radio Happy as like my alarm sound for the past whatever many years. And it's basically been about the Chinese folk song and Radio Happy, the two, the dynamic duo, the deadly duo of waking up in the morning and not feeling like P. Diddy, feeling very much like myself. But it's not something which I like resented. Like I tell you, I don't resent the song. Maybe that's because the song is so like not generically happy. That's not what I mean. But like it's so ridiculously happy. Like it's so so saccharinely happy is probably how I describe it. It's kind of hard to hate it in that sense. But also at the same time, I'm not really that much of a like. I'm not a morning person essentially. You know. That's what I've apparently got 2 clocks here. I don't know what's going on. No, I'm doing a thumbnail art at the same time. You might be like, is the thumbnail art progressing? Didn't progress yesterday, obviously because I was busy. I mean, I recorded at like 1 AM or something. I mean, right now I guess I'm kind of recording at midnight, so it's not really much better. But it might progress a little bit today. I'm basically like, there's like basically a month where I had no time to work on it. I had like 1 free night per week or something, and that like free night was spent like catching up on like games or things like that. But now I mean now it's still like pretty busy. I'm just sort of like making time, I guess. It's slightly less busy. So I'm like colouring things in. You know, 4 of the characters are coloured, and luckily I don't think the shading is going to be that crazy nor is the background. So hopefully the colouring is not going to be the longest part. The longest part will be the rendering and finishing touches, to be perfectly honest. But it's at least a decent plot there. So it's like 4.5. Who's coloured in? Dee's coloured in. Apollo and Amelia coloured in. Lily's coloured in. Raymond is half coloured in. Apparently I've coloured his fur in when I got bored or something. I probably was like, oh, it's quite late. Let's go to sleep. Hello, Hermit Crab. By the way, did you see, this is an absolute tangent, did you see that like Hermit Crab Dark Souls-esque game or something that came out? Seemed pretty cool. Am I going to play it? Maybe. A lot of games to play. Oh yeah, I'm gonna stream on Sunday. It's gonna be a full 3-hour stream. I've got to think about what I'm gonna play. There's a game I was thinking about, and I was like, oh yes, I should play that. It was probably on Steam. I don't remember what it was. Oh yeah, hold on, wait. Let me finish a thumbnail out first. Radio happy. You're listening to Radio Happy. I think it's a song which will forever be in my mind. Well, I've already drawn a clock here, so I guess I'll just like reuse the clock and turn it into an alarm clock. And put in, well, that's more like an EKG underneath it rather than a whatever, but who cares? At some point I must have JPEG'd. Oh, you know what? I'm finding out I'm slowly developing artifacts because I've gotten lazy about how I'm opening up. I'm just like opening up I'm basically dragging it in to Paint to open up instead of opening up a file source. I was wondering because at some point I was like, why is transparent selection not working on the thumbnail art anymore? If anything, I guess it's kind of fitting, right? It's getting more JPEG'd. Hopefully eventually it will be actually replaced, but we'll see. You're listening to Radio Happy. Normally this is where I would do like my Neopet stuff or like my daily quests or other things, but I've actually done, like done Neopets already. I guess I could do shiny colours to be perfectly honest, but yeah, like Radio Happy has been my alarm. I'm trying to think, because I feel like most people, I've not taken like a poll of people, but like with the rare opportunities I ran into someone having like an alarm, like maybe with like we're on holiday or something, someone has an alarm, etc. I feel like most people just use the default. And even me, a lot of the time, I just use like the vibrations for the alarm. It's just like, if anything, maybe the reason I don't hate Radio Happy now I think about it is because it starts off with like a, I can't do the sound, but it's like a TV like switching on, like an analog VCR TV switch on noise, you know, about. I don't know how you even do that sound. But it starts with that. It doesn't actually start like full out with the actual song, which maybe that means that I don't have a strong association with a song. You know, I just have association with like a VCR analog TV sound. So if I like hear that, then maybe that would like wake me up immediately. I don't know. I mean, I think it probably is just the fact that I'm not a morning person. I hesitate to call myself a morning person because I don't think I'm a morning person. I often say like I'm like an afternoon person, but I don't hate the mornings. Like I'm perfectly fine with them. I'm not just like grumble, don't talk to me until I have my coffee, and I don't wake up in the morning and be like, I feel like death incarnate. I just mostly feel quite, normally fine, to be honest. Not really much else to it. What's this one missing? It's missing Visual 2, I see. And it's got this in. Okay, well I don't want to use that because it's got random exhibition match and exhibition match +1 instead of ++. If it was ++, maybe, but it was not. It was only +1. What songs have I got stuck in my head recently? I've got the Eurovision 2024 winning song. I don't actually know. Is it called Broke the Code or is it just called Code? I don't know. Anyway, Switzerland, Nemo. I've kind of got that in my head right now. Broke the code, but not that part. Probably the song, probably the part where it goes, I went to hell and back. But yes. And I wish I had more to say. Well, I don't wish, it's kind of a waste of like a genie wish or something. But I had more to speak about on like alarm sounds about something. But I mean, I'm a creature of habit, but I'm like, I don't end up changing things if there's no need to change them. There's no change for the sake of change is pointless in my mind. So like, I've got nothing wrong with my alarm clock sound right now. Why would I need to change it? So I've just been using that solid same old Radio Happy for ages. And will I continue to use it? Probably, like until I get to a point where I'm like, maybe I should change it up. And well, probably what will happen is like I can't be bothered to download a song onto my new phone or something. So then I'll just be like, whatever. I'll just use default. It's probably called like Morning Glory or something. And I'll be like, okay, nice. And it just goes like bum 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 dum 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 dum. I don't know if I'm just making it up. what I find crazy, and this is like another weird tangent, is like there's been, I don't even know how to like preface this entire point I'm making, but there would be like viral videos where people like recreate the sounds of common notifications or alarm sounds of different operating systems or phones for whatever. And I remember, like, at the time, like, I had a phone at the time. Like, I know I spoke about the fact that I was quite late to getting a phone, but I had a phone at the time, and I very much never understood those videos, because I was like, I'm like, how do people know what the default sound of, like, the Samsung notification sounds like? I guess it's just something you have, like, instinctively within you. But, you know, strangely enough, that's not one that I've got ingrained in me. The only one I remember is, I think it's, like, Facebook Messenger goes, like, ba-ding, or something like that. Twitter also goes, like, I can't whistle, but it goes like whoo whoo. I mean, I can whistle, but I can't whistle that high. Something like that. I don't know what others are. Wait, it isn't like the alarm sound goes like dun 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 on like a xylophone or something. I don't know if I'm making up. Maybe I do remember them. I might just be lying to you. I might just be spewing lies. Me when I'm spewing lies. How does that mean go? I don't. Something like that, right? I mean. But it probably needs to be prefaced by something more than just I might be lying to you. It's kind of like an anti-joke or anti-meme or something. I don't know where I was going with this. Was I going anywhere else? I don't think so. But where was I going with this? I don't know. I lost my train of thought entirely. I don't know. Alarm clock sounds. Maybe I should make my own alarm clock sound. I wonder what goes into designing an alarm clock sound, you know? Because it's not like you need to compose like a whole 3-minute song. Really, you got to compose like a 30-second jingle, which is not too obtrusive that people will hate it or something, right? It's something which, well, it's not like you need to make it particularly catchy either. You just need to make it, I was going to say sharp enough to wake someone up, but that's actually like a terrible way to wake someone up, right? If there's been like a thing now where it's like it's better to wake up with like a gradual, well, I mean, it is just better full stop to wake up with like a gradual sound, like something which starts low and goes higher and higher. Not higher and higher, but louder and louder. Which, if anything, Radio Happy kind of does that. So, but I think the phones do it automatically now, which I guess is good. You know, I don't really have like, I don't know anyone who's just like, oh, I oppose that. I want like the alarm to blare in my face as soon as I, you know, need to wake up. Which, if you do, then fair enough. But may I recommend my old Chinese alarm clock, which played Chinese folk songs as your alarm clock? Because that was loud. And weirdly, like hitting the top button, like as a snooze button as normal. But like the way to make it not snooze is, I remember you had to hit that snooze button up top and then quickly hit another button, any other button on the clock, and that would count as it like actually dismissing it rather than snoozing. I don't know, because I guess the thing is I've not really had that much interaction with alarm clock. So is it always by default like the button on the top of your alarm clock is a snooze button? The one which like pushes it by like 5 minutes or something? Which, I'm going to be honest, like what's the point of pushing it by 5 minutes? But that's probably why like I have these different alarm clocks, is like those are my snooze buttons, because I'm like, if I don't need to snooze or like I need to get up, then I'm getting up. But if I do want to like snooze, I want to snooze for more than 5 minutes. Are you kidding me? I guess this is probably because I set my alarm clocks like way before I actually need to wake up. So, you know, I guess most people probably put the alarm clock for when they need to wake up, so they can only really snooze for 5 minutes before they're like, okay, now I really got to get up. Well, here I am, like putting it like 1.5 hours before I need to get up and being like, oh, you know, I feel like snoozing today. Well, I guess I'll sleep for half an hour. Now I think about it, maybe that's a weird thing to do. I don't, you know. Now, whatever. We've all got our own quirks. And that works for me. So my snooze is half an hour, but I also wake up 1.5 hour probably before I need to quote. Yeah, I don't know, Radio Happy. It's a song. It's my alarm clock anthem. You know, if anything, I kind of just want to stick with it. Because then I'll be like a 70-year-old, you know, like grandma or something, and be like, back in my day, this is the song I used to listen to as my alarm clock. And then we'd be like, oh, grandma, it sounds so old. Look about it, just like has like one synth going and like one person singing. Japanese, we don't speak Japanese anymore. I don't know why we're speaking Japanese in UK or something. I don't know, maybe I've like immigrated somewhere. Anyway, this has gone off rails. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to round this episode up here. So if you haven't watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope we see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now. I went to... Okay, enough of that.